In this video, I'm going to break down the exact scripting structure I have used for Instagram Reels, generate over $150,000 directly from YouTube and Instagram Organic. This video specifically for Reels because it's a completely different game. Most of you guys make this big mistake of just scripting or treating Reels like YouTube videos and using the same principles I teach in scripting YouTube videos and use it and apply it for Reels. In reality, this is not the way it works. It's completely two different systems, completely two different principles for each one of these systems. Really want to sign high ticket clients from short form organic. You're really going to want to watch this video because I'm going to break the entire scripting system I use down in full details. So let's begin. So as you can see here, $20,000 from Instagram. Here another screenshot, $10,000 from Instagram. This is for my client George Clements. We grew his account from around 1,000 followers to now 40,000 followers, literally quadruple his follower count, and we literally made over $150,000 from YouTube and Instagram. So let's begin. So for the scripting system, we're gonna cover the 4 principles and the universal structure and the full hook vault. Okay, this is what we're gonna cover. So the first principle, which is negativity always wins. This is really important, guys. In short form, negativity always wins. The rule here is to be negative indirectly, attack the mistake, never the viewer. Negative framing gets more attention and emotion, way more than positive framing, because people are always programmed to, react more for loss than gain. What do I mean by this? If this is the emotions scale, this is 0 and this is 10, and this is the more you go here, the more positive it gets. If it's negative and it's like we give them only like 5 out of 10 negativity here, for example, is gonna go on the emotion scale by like 8. Like if we only give 5 negativity, it's gonna go like 8. How much emotions are gonna feel. But if it's positive emotions, if we only give also 5, it's gonna go like the emotions are gonna be like only like 3 maybe. I know I didn't explain it in a good way, but like basically people react more to negativity and loss than gain. Okay, people would rather not lose 10K than gain and get 10K. So here you want to attack the mistake, never the viewer. So instead of like top 5 hacks, you want to say 5 things you should not cheap out on. Okay, if your video is, for example, why or how to get clients, okay, if that's your hook, how to sign clients, then you should really change the framing to something like the reason you're not signing clients, right? This is the negative framing. So the second principle, which is the U format, and this is another important one. U is the most important word in scripting Instagram Reels. Now, why? Because it feels more personal, right? You always want to use the word you instead of them, they, people, most business owners, most people. You want to say you always. So the first method to actually integrating this into your script is replacing all rulers with you, right? And the method, or the second method, which is giving ownership. Instead of their price, you say your price. So rulers are like, for example, words like everyone, anyone, most business owners, most people, guys, y'all, all these words, you want to replace them with you. And giving the ownership, instead of saying that price or that prospects or their viewers, you want to say your viewers, your prospects, your leads, your price, all these different things. This makes it's so subtle, but you don't realize how big of a difference it makes in the script. It really makes the script way better. And another thing I would really want to add to this rule is using specific language that relates to your prospect. So as you can see, guys, with this example here, this a script that Claude generated. The mistake here that Claude did, and you really want to be aware, especially if you're going to use AI, of these minor mistakes, is really it's not using relatable language. It's saying here every person, when in reality you should really change it to every agency owner or every business owner or most business owners, something related to that. For example, here, another example here, before they spend money with you. No one really says that. It's always like before they pay you, right? Before they pay the invoice. It's the same thing. Some people here, this is extremely generic word. You should replace it with most business owners, most agency owners. Again, you can just go through the script and you'll find a lot of mistakes before they, or this should change before your prospect. Think about getting on a call. Your call, not a call. Others are, decisive and pull away the trigger right away. This is like extremely generic. It's extremely third person. sentence. The script isn't bad, but like this is extremely third person language. It should say some of your prospects will be decisive and will buy from you right away. A 20-second video is not inherently better than 60-second one. A better video is only as long as it needs to be. This is really important. The metric here, guys, you wanna track with your short form videos is not how many or how much value you give, not how big of a problem you solve. It's really value per second. This is what you want to calculate, is how much value am I giving per second? Am I talking for too long? Am I giving too many examples? Am I just yapping on the video? You really want to calculate this, shorten it as much as you can. Even if you're going for like yap style videos where it's just so natural and stuff, but like you want to record these videos 4 or 5 times before you actually decide to post it, because every time when you watch the video, you're gonna realize, oh, I shouldn't have said that. That's so shit. Like I didn't have to add it, right? It doesn't give any value. It doesn't improve the prospect understanding or the viewer's understanding of the video. Okay. Not add fillers, methodology, or bonus context the viewer doesn't care about. Cut everything, non-essential. Use speedinminutes.com to time scripts. And Instagram Reel Cap is 90 seconds. They release an update. Now it's more. Okay, so you can go for longer, but again, that doesn't mean it's better. I always like to make reels, shorter than 90 seconds, because no one watches reels more than for that are longer than a minute. And also always try to force a 70-second script into 50-second without losing value. Always try to cut the script in half. Like if it's, for example, let's say if the script is like 50 seconds, you really want to go try and rewrite it into 25 seconds. And I guarantee you'll always be able to do it. I guarantee there is not a script on earth or you have written or you will write that I cannot sit here and just shorten it like in half, literally. And the second part of it is as simple as possible. You want to target grade 6 or below readability. Never go above grade 7. So the tool you want to use for this is Hemingway app. Okay. You're gonna, on this app, you're gonna paste your script and it's gonna show you what are the complex words and complex sentences that are, grade 7 or grade 6. You want to go below that. So it's gonna mark it in red or orange. So you want to change these. You want to shorten them. You want to use simpler words, etc. And simplify the delivery, not the substance, not reduce the values, just solve the same problem and really try to solve it as quickly as possible. This is the goal I'm always going for. And keep it all value packed. Just make it easier to comprehend. This is really important. Again, value per second is the metric you're tracking here. Now, the last principle, which is the audible flow check. Read every script out loud before recording. Your writing voice is not your performing voice. And I see this a lot, happens a lot all the time. You just write the script, and when you go on camera and try to like say it to the camera, it doesn't feel natural, because you're really, the voice in your head is not the same performing voice you're gonna use in front of the camera, right? So you really want to read your scripts out loud, even if you're gonna look like an idiot. Doesn't matter. It's just gonna give you a good idea of how you're gonna perform with this script, and also try to like read it in the same way you would want it to perform on the video, right? The same way you want the script to look on the video. Try to read it and move your hands around. Maybe even stand up and actually read your script, because sometimes when you're sitting down and actually doing this audible flow check, it's gonna feel unnatural and stuff. So really standing up and actually moving around and really having some freedom when it comes to like doing this audible flow check is really gonna give you a good idea of how the script is gonna sound. And also, when you're recording, you really want to record the video at least like 3 to 5 times, because the first time we're gonna record it is gonna sound like shit. Like the third or fourth time is gonna sound way better. And this gives like the editor freedom to like pick the best sentence or the best way you said the sentence. And just gonna make you look the most charismatic in the video, right? So listen for the flow, words to cut, principle violations, just record it multiple times, look at it and remove things, right? Always look to remove. Now the script workflow. Let's begin. So write the script, apply negativity, and then apply you framework. Shorten, cut nonsense, verify with the timer, and simplify with Hemingway app. Look for grade 6 and below, and then they do the audible flow check, read it out loud, and then record. That's pretty much it for this system. Now let's go into universal structure. The hook is basically the first 3 seconds. You want to have all these principles nailed in the hook. You should spend at least like I would say 70% of your time on the hook. Obviously, a lot of people exaggerate and say like, oh, 90% of your time should be spent on the hook. In all your time should be spent on the script. Like the hook is part of the script. It's the most important one. But obviously, you shouldn't just make a great hook and then like the rest of the video is shit because no one's gonna watch it, right? They're gonna get hooked, but like they're not gonna watch the video. So obviously you want to nail the hook, and if you nail the hook, you're gonna easily be able to nail the rest of the video. But still, you should spend good amount of time on the rest of the video. So the first 3 seconds is your hook. Negative framing, call out the mistake, use format, and promise a specific narrow win. Then interest speaking, stack layers, add curiosity, credibility, or scarcity. And then framework reveal, name the structure, give it a name if it doesn't have one, and then break it down step by step. Give a step, each step, give it a name or just a number in general to simplify it, and then give a quick example. You don't have to give a quick example because obviously this is going to make the video way too long. So just give each step a name and explain it real quick. And then better interrupt, maybe some humor, maybe swear, joke, or self-aware, any of that stuff, just to capture attention and just keep people hooked in. This doesn't need to be added. You can really just do it in the editing when you're switching to different scenes or doing something specific with your hands. All these different things, like even the camera movement on the app style videos, you should do it on purpose. Like a lot of people just try to put their camera down and like pin it to something or a stand and just record. This is way too boring. You need to have your camera moving around with you. If you're walking, for example, you really want to move your camera to emphasize a point, for example. This is all pattern interrupt you should integrate. And then lastly, this is a strategy we always use is keyword triggered CTA. Comment keyword and I'll send you X. Quick example here for this strategy is my client here. As you can see, we did it. All you need is $10 a day. This was on paid ads. And comment 10 for full breakdown. And as you can see how many comments we've gotten, we got 60 for all these are qualified leads. Literally, if you do it and get this amount of leads, you can literally close at least one client from them. So obviously look to integrate this keyword CTA. You can just send them to YouTube to get nurtured. You can add them to your email list, give them a freebie. It can be anything. It can literally be just introducing your offer and like getting people to comment to send them more info on the offer. But obviously that doesn't work really because this is direct. It works with some people who have extremely warm audiences, but like if you don't have that, you really want to have some sort of a Trojan horse that are gonna use to get in their DMs and then convert them later. So obviously the best way to get that Trojan horse and the easiest one by far is YouTube. So you want to really get people to comment something and get a YouTube video or a freebie. Once you send that to them using ManyChat or something, and then a day later, you want to ask them on their opinion. So, for example, if you send a YouTube video, you want to ask them, do you like the YouTube video? What do you think of it? And then you ask them, for example, what are your biggest struggles right now with your agency, or what are you doing right now? What are you building right now? Any of these questions just to get them in a conversation and then eventually convert them. So what is the pre-recording checklist I'm always looking to complete when I'm scripting a video for my clients or for myself? Okay, so the first thing, which is complete solution delivery. This is really important. If you make a good hook and interest speaking and all these different things, and you not give the solution, you're literally burning your audience. People are not going to trust you anymore. People are just going to associate you with low value content, basically a waste of time, and you're not going to be able to build a good reputation in your market. You really want to give the solution. And if you do it in one video, like if you don't give the full solution in one video, that's fine. You should really look to be able to answer one simple question, one per video. I'm going to make an entire video on the ideation side of it because it's way more complicated when it comes to like ideating short form than long form, because on long form you can explain more, but in short form you're really limited by like 60 seconds. So obviously it's a little bit harder to deliver value in these 60 seconds. But obviously you want to give the entire solution. If you can't, you really want to narrow down the video topic. And then leave no unanswered questions. You want to make a loop at the beginning. So a question that's unanswered, and then by the end of the video, it should be answered. This is really important. And if you make an open loop and you don't answer the question, people are gonna fucking hate you, bro. People are just gonna dislike your brand if you do it so much. Viewers can execute it immediately. This is something really, really fucking good. I always did it, and that's why I had so much fucking success with my clients. And hook is negatively framed. This is really important. A lot of videos that we have done good with like positive videos, but most of the videos that actually, that performed really well had negative framing and also an open loop. Every ruler replaced with you. Explain that every generic noun given an ownership. Do not say the price, their prospects, their viewers, their ads, your prospects, your viewers, only as long as it needs to be. Grade 6 or below readability. This is the checklist. Again, this is the entire scripting system we have used to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for my clients. And if you want this entire system built completely done for you, you can click the first link in the description and book a call. We guarantee 10 to 30 qualified sales calls and 5 to 10 new clients within 90 days, or you don't pay us a cent. We handle everything. We build this entire system in 90 days. YouTube and Instagram, completely organic, no paid ads, no outreach, no bullshit. So if that sounds interesting, you can click the first link in the description and book a call. And if you want to learn exactly how I generated my client, George Clemens, $150,000 using YouTube and Instagram organic, you can click the video on screen right now. I broke down the entire case study, so you can just replicate the system for yourself and understand how we did it. Click the video on the screen right now where I break the entire system down. Peace.